Hello, my name is Whitney Lane Meltz. My pronouns are they, them, and I am a third-year Scenic MFA Scenic Design student here at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas.
Hi, my name is Ben Cohen. I am a junior undergrad student in the theater program, and I am the assistant scenic designer of Beaux Stratagem.
Hi, I'm Roxy Mojica, and I am a freelance scenic designer, scenic artist, scenic charge artist. I'm also an educator and a part-time instructor here at UNLV.
During this process, I got to do a lot of research on the late 1600s and the early 1700s. And I learned a lot about the Jacobean architect style and how everything was made out of wood and what galleries would go on the walls. And one thing that you'll notice in our show is the gallery that we put on our set and the portraits and the landscapes and the stand-still items on those galleries. Another thing I got to research was a lot about the furniture that would be in these houses. A lot of how they were made out of wood and how they were upholstered with fabrics and the types of fabrics. They used a lot of beiges and warmer colors with a lot of floral patterns.
This play is set in the early 1700s in England, and so a lot of the historical research that went into setting up this design went into what the world and architecture actually looked like in that time period and in that location. So you'll see a lot of elements of these sort of real-life buildings on the stage in terms of the period wood paneling, wallpaper techniques, some of the fireplace and door ornamentation. We pulled a lot from reality. And from there, we were able to kind of spin off into sort of the more theatrical elements of any stage design. So the walls are not at 90-degree angles. We have angles on the top of them that help them kind of pull out into a forced perspective. We did this in combination with a particular paint treatment that is also from the time period, not from the 1700s time period, but is actually a heritage sort of paint technique from the 1930s. It is called trompe-l'oeil, and it was most employed in Golden Age Broadway scenic design.
It's French for to trick the eye, and that is essentially what the treatment aims to do. So when we're tricking the eye, we're trying to add three-dimensionality to something that is unapologetically two-dimensional. And so that's a lot of just focus on line and shadow and getting your darkest darks next to your lightest lights. So that's what I've been focusing on teaching the students in the scenic art class is just really trust your eye. When you see a light shift in something, your eye is going to be better than what your brain thinks it's seeing, because our brain likes to play tricks on us, which is exactly why this treatment works, is because our brain is playing a trick on us. So there's this huge cognitive dissonance that happens when you're looking at something that is painted to be 3D, where your brain is saying, hey, this is something that's 2D, but it's 3D. So there's been a lot of getting the students past thinking that they can't paint or represent something that's architectural. They're like, oh, I can't do this. And I'm like, hey, just make these lines real quick. Oh my gosh, look, you did it. So it's a lot of just trusting themselves and then building that trust with me. So a lot of just painting is trusting and confidence, and the hardest thing to teach somebody is confidence. You can't just say, hey, be more confident. It doesn't really work that way. But it's also just a lot of fine technique, things like lining and keeping a steady hand and always having a straight edge, because as soon as you lose that consistency as far as where the lights are compared to the other lights and where the darks are compared to the other darks, then your brain doesn't really trick you into thinking that it's a 3D thing anymore. So that's kind of the, I guess, psychology and the anatomical way of viewing this scenic painting treatment that we're applying here to the Beaux Stratagem.